I got some breaking news for you guys. This is absolutely insane. There's a lot of rumors and speculation swirling around social media right now that Zuffa Boxing has offered Shakur Stevenson a three-fight deal worth $60 million, guys. That's 60 million smackaroos. Now, if you want to talk about something interesting that's happening in the world of combat sports, this is it. Dana White, Zuffa Boxing, these guys are taking over. Now, I want to highlight that this is just a rumor. This is just speculation, but there's a lot of different sources that are pointing this out that Shakur Stevenson could be the next big fighter to sign over with Zuffa Boxing. Now, Shakur Stevenson, as most of you know, he's probably one of the most talented young boxers in the world right now. He's got global mass marketing appeal, and he's getting a lot of attention from none other than Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. Now, if these rumors are true, if they're even half true, this could signal, guys, something much bigger in the future of boxing. So let's talk about it, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. Here we try to cover all the latest trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, and boxing. And when I talk about covering the latest trending stories and biggest stories, there's nothing more bigger than this story right now, because if this is true, guys, this could be a big deal. So let's talk about Shakur Stevenson. Let's talk about Dana White. Let's talk about Zuffa Boxing. And all of this ties into His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. You got WWE, Nick Khan, the TKO Group, Paramount Plus. There's a lot of things that are happening behind the world of Zuffa. And again, Conor Ben signing for a one-fight deal worth 8 figures could just be the start, right? Jayo Patai, don't forget him. But guys, there's a lot of exciting things happening, especially when it comes to the world of boxing and Zuffa Boxing, right? So anyways, guys, this was a rumor that was circulating earlier, okay? And a lot of noteworthy, like a lot of important people, I guess, if you want to call it that, in the world of combat sports is talking about it, which is why it's garnering a lot more attention than it normally would. And I mean, if this is true, and Dana White with his new boxing promotion, they could be sitting on top of the world like a king, like a boss, right? So right away, guys, I got a big question. If this is actually true, okay, and more importantly, the question is, why would Dana White be targeting Shakur Stevenson in the first place? Like, whoa. I mean, if you really think about it, this move, if it's true, could talk a lot about the direction that Zuffa Boxing is trying to head towards, right? And to understand that, we really need to start with Shakur Stevenson himself and what he actually said, because the rumors that were swirling around Zuffa offering Shakur this big 3-fight deal really started to pick up steam when former NFL star Shannon Sharp asked Shakur Stevenson directly if there was any truth to the speculation that Dana White's new boxing promotion was preparing a major offer. And Shakur's response was very simple. He said, look, not that I know of, but if they're offering me $60 million, call my phone, I'm ready. Now, obviously that response was half serious and half joking, but it tells you something very, very important, that Shakur Stevenson is listening, all right? And he's taking this all in. And in a modern fight business, guys, honestly, fighters are always paying attention to new money entering the sport, because new promotions means new leverage, new opportunities, and an opportunity to really shine and maximize your earning potential. So now, this could be massive. This could be massive. I don't think people understand the magnitude of this story. Right now, it's just a story. I mean, it's only true until it's true, until it's official, until we can actually verify that this has happened. But the fact that, Shannon Sharp is talking about it on his show, the fact, sorry, that um, a lot of important people in the world of combat sports are starting to talk about it. It's starting to garner a lot of attention on social media. Again, this story is starting to pick up a lot of steam. And if it hasn't happened, then maybe Dana White needs to make it happen. Yeah, because considering how much hype this this news is starting to garner, the amount of attention, uh, that's happening around this story and around Shakur Stevenson and the possibility of him linking up with Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. Uh, if again, if this is not true, then it would make a lot of business sense for Dana White to actually pick up the phone and call Shakur Stevenson and say, look, you know what? I don't know why there's rumors circulating that we were going to offer you $60 million, but I mean, if you're interested, let's do this, because it's going to make Dana White a lot of money. Okay? It's going to make him a lot of money. Plain and simple, guys. Like, just think about it. Somebody like Alexander Usyk is the kind of guy, is the kind of boxer that's going to generate a lot of buzz, a lot of hype. He's a kind of guy that makes headlines appear. All right, Usyk is nearing the end of his career. He's already talked about the possibility of having just like 3 fights left before his retirement. Shakur Stevenson is the exact opposite. I mean, this man, young man, he's only 28 years old. Okay, and he's just entering the prime of his career, the prime of his life, and he's already a 3 division champion with the potential to dominate the light heavyweight division for many many years to come. Okay, this is a generational fighter, the type of guy that a new promotion like Zuffa Entertainment could really build themselves around, right? Not somebody who's planning on finishing their career, not somebody who could define the next era. We're talking about the guy who's part of this era, the guy who's doing it all, making it happen, and the guy to beat, right? So this is the reason why Zuffa Boxing needs a guy like Shakur Stevenson. It would only add value proposition to their promotion. It would create some legitimacy to Zuffa. And I mean, when you have a guy like Shakur Stevenson on your card, you're not fighting at the Meta Apex Center anymore. You're fighting at the T-Mobile Arena, minimum T-Mobile Arena, all right? Or you're going down to Miami, or you're going down to Madison Square Gardens, but you're filling out the big arenas. That's what it's about, guys, right? So, anyways, you're talking about credibility, legitimacy. You're talking about everything you need to put Zuffa on the map. Recognizable names like Shakur Stevenson are the kind of names that are going to help legitimize your promotion. All right? I'm not telling Dana White what to do, how to run his business. Dana White knows how to run his business and businesses. He's a master at that. He's proved it with the UFC. Everything Dana does with the UFC, it checks all the boxes. He's done such an incredible job at the UFC that if he can just reciprocate that same kind of model, that same kind of ecosystem, and bring it to Zuffa, then it's a win. I mean, it's a turnkey solution. It's going to be a winning combination, and it's going to end up in nothing but success. So Shakur Stevenson, I mean, he checks off a lot of those boxes, right? This young fighter is undefeated. He's technically probably one of the best pound for pound fighters, again, not only in this division, but in the sport of boxing. And he's coming across some incredible wins over guys like William Zapata, Teofimo Lopez. That's the kind of momentum that promoters just, savor. They love this kind of stuff. And I mean, when it comes to matchmaking, I mean, the UFC does an incredible job at matchmaking, so there's going to be no issues there. And Zuffa, guys, if Zuffa had Stevenson under contract, they could start building big fights immediately. They wouldn't even have to wait, right? And already there's one name that's already being mentioned: Conor Benn. Think about this, guys. When Shakur Stevenson fought Teofimo Lopez, okay, in his last fight, Conor Benn called him out. Came to the ring, he called him out. Shakur Stevenson's like, yeah, I'll fight you. And then Shakur Stevenson looks over to Eddie Hearn, who was, who was Conor Benn's manager, at the time. He's like, can you make this happen? Well, fast forward to today, Conor Benn is now under Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. All right, he signed a contract. And if Shakur Stevenson comes on board to Zuffa Boxing, guess what? We might see Conor Benn and Shakur Stevenson. Can you imagine that? And if Ben's actually fighting Regis in April, I think it's in April. And I'm telling you guys, this could be a big fight in itself as well too. But when you got Conor Benn and you got Shakur Stevenson, and I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit here, but when you have two of those fighters with that kind of caliber, with that kind of aura about these guys are the best in their class. These are two huge personalities, and it's only going to create nothing but marketing hype and a lot of buzz, which equates to a lot of dollars. Just think about that for a second, right? So I don't know if anyone's really talking about this right now, but Dana White is trying to build a name, like trying to build some legitimacy for Zuffa. And I know he's trying to do it the same way he's trying to do the UFC. Excuse me. That is happening for sure. And that's the strategy, right? So signing a fighter like Shakur, I think is only going to be a win-win situation, and it's going to make perfect sense. I think that this is where Zuffa is heading next. And honestly, guys, I mean, right now, Zuffa's just in their early stages. They're in their infancy, right? So, I mean, they're only going to continue to grow, right? The same way the UFC did as well, too. The only difference is when the UFC was first starting out, how many umpteen number of years ago, there wasn't the kind of social media. They didn't have all these social media platforms. They didn't have all this crazy, like, new age pay-per-view and Netflix, Paramount Plus, and all these DAZN. They didn't have any of this stuff back then. Yeah, they had stuff, but not at this kind of level. This is a whole different animal. A whole different animal. So growing now, it's going to be a lot quicker and faster for Zuffa to get to climb new heights, to get to where they want to get to. But at the same time, they won't have to go through a lot of the doldrums and the trials and tribulations that Dana White had to do with the UFC many years ago, because they learned along the way things that worked well, things that didn't work so well. And they take that information and they're going to be able to make sure that Zuffa follows a proper blueprint to success, and that there's going to be no issues with Zuffa being able to achieve the kind of goals that they want to achieve, not only in the interim, but long term as well too, right? So, I mean, we've seen fighters like Robert Merriweather III, we've seen like Jose Valenzuela with the Zuffa title, Jai Opatai, which I talked about earlier, to capture another belt with the beautiful, strong performance. I mean, most of these shows, they've taken place at the UFC's Apex Meta Center in Vegas. Now, I mean, again, having a guy like Conor Benn and Shakur Stevenson, you're going to need a bigger arena, and I don't think Dana's going to have a problem trying to procure a place to be able to host that event, right? So again, Zuffa's building slowly but meticulously with a lot of strategy. Okay, this is the game plan right now before they start chasing massive fights. Okay, but at some point they're going to have to break out, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So I mean, the rumors that are swirling around Shakur Stevenson signing this deal with Zuffa, if it were true, guys, if it is true, it's going to be absolutely massive beyond proportions. Dana White has spent many years, okay, trying to work and build on the UFC. He's definitely the right man for the job for Zuffa, okay? And he has a model with Zuffa that he's trying to prove will work. It's going to take some time, okay? But I mean, he gets a few of these elite fighters on board, they're going to start chasing massive fights, and it's going to draw in big crowds. And you're also going to get that crowd from the UFC as well too, from the WWE. He's going to be able to bridge those crowds together, all right? And I'm not just talking about just chasing veterans or prospects. I mean, he's going for actual championship caliber fighters. Okay? So to be clear, this is just a speculation. There's no confirmed deal yet. And Stevenson himself said he hasn't heard anything official yet, or he could just be playing, and maybe he didn't want to break it on Shannon Sharp's show, and maybe he's just kind of playing coy, like he just wants to be a little bit, pretend like he doesn't really know what's going on because he doesn't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. I mean, that's a possibility, right? But the fact that his name is being linked to Zuffa Boxing, there's something happening. There's definitely something happening there, right? Fighters are paying a lot of attention to new opportunities outside the traditional boxing system. So naturally, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more fighters start to gravitate towards Zuffa. And if Dana White is really serious about building a real boxing league, at some point he's going to have to land a huge, huge signing that's going to make the entire industry stop and look away. That kind of happened with Conor Benn. But, I mean, it's a one-fight deal. But if he does something where he's going to have multiple fights out of a fighter, that's a different story altogether. Altogether. So, I mean, even if this rumor never turns into a real contract, that still tells us a lot about what Zuffa is doing, the combat sports in general, the changing of the landscape when it comes to the world of boxing. And guys, I mean, now there's like fighter leverage, in question, promoters and their power, and the structure that confines the whole world of boxing. You've got all these different sanctioning bodies. You got all these different belts and titles and all these different players and promoters and guys who are in the industry. It does get a little bit confusing. So I think Zuffa's trying to get in there to try to simplify things and to try to keep it more as a centralized kind of a feel. And so this is going to be interesting, guys. I can't wait to see what happens. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear, is Shakur Stevenson the right guy for Zuffa Boxing? Is this something that you guys would be excited to see? Do you think it's actually going to happen? Or is this just another rumor that's just kind of floating around in the fight business? Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments. Smash a like and subscribe and hit the notifications so you guys never miss a beat. I look forward to catching you guys on the next one. The pleasure was all ours. Thank you, guys.